Delhi LG Vinay Kumar Saxena, he has proposed a radical plan to check traffic violations. He has written to the Finance Minister Ms Sitharaman and has proposed index-linked insurance premiums in order to deter traffic violations and improve road safety. Now, in simple words, what it means is that Delhi's LG, he has proposed an innovative solution to curb traffic violations and improve road safety in India. He has suggested that insurance premiums be linked to the number of traffic violations that are recorded against a certain vehicle. This also means that the drivers with a history of violations such as speeding or reckless driving, they would have to pay a higher premium. Now, there are few alarming statistics to back this particular idea. India, remember, has seen over 4.37 lakh road accidents in 2022, resulting in approximately 1.55 lakh fatalities. Now, overspeeding, it accounted for nearly 70% of these accidents. Vehicles with multiple traffic violations have a 40% higher risk of being involved in fatal crashes. Now, the big question is, has something like this implemented in other countries, and has it worked? Now, similar measures, they have been successfully implemented in the United States as well as in many European countries. Now, this approach, it aligns with the global best practices and positioning India as a leader in road safety initiatives. Also, let's try and understand what might be the key benefits if something like this is implemented. Number one is the financial deterrent. It acts as a financial deterrent. This approach, it would encourage responsible driving behavior, reducing accidents and saving lives. It is also to do with risk-based premiums. Insurance costs would align with the actual risk posed by the individual drivers. And there is also going to be a reduced burden on the insurers, which basically means that frequent claims would decrease, making insurance management more efficient. But the big question is this a good idea or an impractical idea, and will financial deterrence work? Now, that is something that we are trying to understand from the viewers themselves. We'll also be having an expert to get us a better understanding of what this policy might be and what can be, what are the technicalities involved here. But let me first go across to my colleague Ishika. Ishika, break it down for us. Is there a timeline for implementing a policy like this? And there is a big concern that this can affect and impact low-income drivers. What are the people saying there?
Well, Osama, firstly, this is a proposal that has been put forth by the Lieutenant Governor of the National Capital, where he, in fact, has urged the Union Minister here to, in fact, link the, the insurance of the vehicle to the number of, the violations that have been registered against the vehicle. Now, what is the basis of this? Well, Lieutenant Governor has, in fact, said in his letter that as per the study by the World Bank, what it has been shown there is that, the vehicles that have more than 3 challans in a year, their involvement in road accidents was quite high. And that is why, such a step can be a financial deterrent and thus, promote responsible behavior, among the drivers here. Now, currently, first, let me tell you that we are present here, at the border which leads to Faridabad here, and you can see that right now we are trying to show here, and just a few moments ago we were also seeing that the vehicles in fact were driving on the wrong side of the roads. In fact, we are also trying to show you where in fact you will see that on this particular flyover, the autos are also not allowed, and that also is in fact going towards towards the flyover. And just a few moments ago we also saw the cars that were driving on the wrong side of the road. Many of, in fact, here the drivers were not even driving with helmets in their hands. In fact, we are showing you currently, you'll see that how, in fact, even the autos are going to go on the flyovers, even though that is not permitted, and that is very well mentioned in in the board that is present there. So certainly right now we are seeing, even here you can see those who are on cycles, they are coming right now on the, on the other side of the road just a few moments ago. In fact, I'll ask my camera person to come closer and in fact to try to show you more visuals here of the traffic violations that we are trying to get you from the ground here. This is the place that is in fact used by a lot of people, because from here the traffic goes from Delhi to Faridabad, and here many in fact openly flout the rules here. So we are currently trying to show you the visuals here. Currently we are seeing that the traffic load has also in fact lessened. That is why you're not able to see much traffic right now. But just a few moments ago, we also saw the cars, in fact, driving on the wrong side of the roads. People, in fact, going without helmets. They were driving their scooters, their bikes and autos, going on the flyovers, despite, it being certainly mentioned here that that is not allowed. So here as well, on the ground as well, we are trying to show you that there are traffic violations that are happening. So keeping all that in mind, the Lieutenant Governor has put this proposal in front of the Union Minister. But will that be accepted, and what will be the ministry be thinking about this? All of that is still awaited here. Over to you.
All right, Ishika, thank you very much for getting us the latest from the ground. In fact, I'm also joined by Anurag Kulshresht, a road safety expert, also the president of TRACS, Road Safety NGO. Sir, my first and the most obvious question to you is, how do you think this policy will impact the daily life of all the commuters and people who travel on a daily basis? And are people willing to pay higher premiums for traffic violations?
Well, Osama, first of all, I'll just give you a brief about the traffic pattern and the accidents, especially in Delhi, if we are discussing about this. Yeah. In Delhi, 50% motorcyclists are dying and almost 50% pedestrians are dying. Pedestrians, they don't have any financial implications. Two-wheelers, they are believing in third-party insurance that is 1,000, 1,200 or 3,000 rupees. And moreover, they are without insurance, they are flying over roads. That is more than 40%. So I don't know, are these, whatever the discussion is going on, it's about the cars, trucks, buses. Will they be really stopping or reducing the accidents in Delhi? Such type of deterrent. And second thing, we are just copying the rules and regulations imposed in developed countries. But have we compared ever to what type of deterrent they are having? In foreign countries, like in developed countries, if there is a single challan, means half-month salary reduction, half-month. Second challans, almost full month salary reduction. And third challan, your license cancelled. Right. This type of deterrent, if we are having, like our common salary in India, it's 15,000 to 20,000, and we are paying just 5,000 or 2,000 only. And apart from this, as per the law of probability of catching is very low. Lakhs and lakhs are vehicles on road, and hardly there's a challan of around 5% community. Every month, every year even, Delhi police is increasing the number of challans. And interestingly, 75% nationally, these challans are unpaid, which done basically through digital modes. We are changing our modes from active challaning to passive challaning, and where number of states, they are waiving off these challans. I don't know what is the mentality behind.
All right. Is it practical in its true sense? That is also one of the big questions. And considering what you have said, I'll try and get a sense of what the general public they have to say. I'm currently joined at the moment on the phone line with Nikhil. Nikhil, what do you think? How do you think this policy will impact your daily life? And are you, as a citizen, as a vehicle owner, are you willing to pay a higher premium for traffic violations?
Hi, thank you, and thanks for joining me in. I think, first of all, the problem of this traffic in Delhi is tremendous. The moment we step out of the house, we are on the roads, we see it is an absolute chaos. And I think the LG has just accepted that the Delhi police has failed in managing the traffic situation. And see, active chalaning they cannot do, they are not doing. It's an absolute chaos. Secondly, if this deterrence is there, which should be, I think people will be deterred and they will, somehow be kept in check. And I think I'm totally okay with it if this implement.
Okay, all right. I'm also joined by another caller, Venkatesh from New Delhi. Venkatesh, do you believe that this is going to be a big deterrent? What do you think? Is it going to create awareness? Is it going to reduce the number of road accidents that take place? What do you think? What are your views?
I think first of all, the main basic thing they have forgotten, the problems we are facing everyday commuting in Delhi is really nightmarish and horrible. There are everywhere potholes. And what is the work of the traffic police? I have been staying in Delhi for 35 years. I never see a single traffic police standing near the red light. They are either hiding behind some poles to see that somebody is violating the rules, or they are just letting go easily with whatever the avenues they are having. Okay, that is really fine that if somebody is violating the rules, he has to be fined. But basically, why should somebody violate the rules if the police are always on the red light or wherever they have to be? There is a strict rules that e-rickshaw should not ply on the ring road. But I have seen myself daily commuting that e-rickshaws very much are moving on the ring road and police are just standing and violating. So naturally, a man who is driving a car changes the lane, sometimes violates the rules, and here is the violence, whatever the challan we are getting. And as far as the challan is concerned, whenever I get an SMS, if I violated rule, I pay. But most of the time I don't get it.
Okay.
So that things they have to streamline before creating some threatening things to the commuters. I pay my GST, I pay road tax when I purchase a vehicle. Still, if I have to pay violation because some system is not working, then that's the wrong thing.
Okay. All right, Venkatesh, thank you for your views. I'm also currently joined by Mr. Berry from Noida. Mr. Berry, you heard our previous caller. He was mentioning about the systemic irregularities that we face on a daily basis on the streets. Is that one of the reasons why you feel that a policy like this will not be as effective? What are your views? All right, we'll try and connect with Mr. Berry in just a short while from now. But talking about road safety, the LG has mentioned that rash drivers, they must pay higher premium. Is that effective way to curb to bring in better road safety measures? Is actually one of the big questions. I also want to ask Mr. Kulshrestha, do you feel what role can the public? The awareness campaigns can play here. Apart from such policies being implemented, do you feel there is a need of better way to create awareness other than creating a policy and implementing it like this?
Well, Osama, if I'll discuss about the road safety matters. First, we have to make our departments or our PWDs or CPWDs and authorities make accountable. Very meaningfully, I am saying almost 90% of the infrastructure in Delhi, that is the crossings, mergings, cuts, these are faulty. And this is basically the entire infrastructure is pro-accident and pro-violation. This infrastructure is forcing us to do violations.
Okay.
Second thing, there's no traffic management by traffic police anywhere in India. They are just doing the regulation job or the challaning job through digital media, digital operations. They don't know how to manage the traffic. And even as LG has already mentioned about the lane driving in Delhi, I'm claiming if any driver in vehicle, that is a HMB, if that driver can move from CP to Qutub Minar in a lane, I will provide 1 lakh rupees to every driver, because infrastructure will never allow to move in lane. We don't know the definition of the lane marking in Delhi and India even. And this
Okay.
I'm very meaningful about it.
Yeah.
In lane marking or lane discipline is the only solution for road safety.
Okay.
But
Let's try
nobody
and
is focusing on lane driving and infrastructure.
all right, let's try and understand this from our viewers as well. I'm currently joined by Kamla Ravi Kumar from Chennai on the phone line. Kamla Ravi Kumar, do you think this policy will reduce accidents, and does it also have to do with the kind of infrastructure, the road infrastructure that we have?
Yes, basically the way the RTO issues driving license is very lopsided. I mean, even a child can get a license sitting at home. If you are associated with a driving school, you don't need to even go for a driving test in India. You can just get a driving license sitting at home. That is ridiculous. They have to be stringent in the way they issue driving licenses in India. In Western countries, you have to pass through a very rigorous test to get a driving license, whereas in India, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And also the way the roads are structured, I mean, we need to have better roads. I mean, we are all taxpayers here and the roads are full of potholes. I mean, how does a person drive? It's like a hurdle race driving on a road in India. Lots of problems like these, you know. First of all, the issuing of licenses, the condition of roads, and lane discipline, as the gentleman just mentioned. People don't want to follow. There is no discipline at all it's road rage. People think survival of the fittest is happening on roads here. If you are able to survive on the road, you are able to drive fast and overtake everyone. You're a great driver is what everyone thinks.
So,
I mean, this doesn't happen.
All right. We'll also try and get views of another caller, Raghuram. He joins us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Raghuram, firstly, yes, are you willing to pay a higher premium for traffic violations? And what do you think about this proposed policy at the moment?
See, at the outset, I feel there is nothing wrong. Okay. If we make some mistake or some violations, we should pay for it. As a citizen, we should pay for any mistake or any wrong we have done. Okay. But regarding this rule, I feel whether it will be possible to implement it or not. That is the question. I feel, you see, the government is trying to shift its responsibility from managing the traffic from one agency, that is a road transport, RTO or whatever it is, to an insurance company.
Yeah.
Whether in implementation, whether it will work or not, I have my own doubts.
Okay. That's in fact a great point that we'll try and get the views of another caller, Shivats, who joins us from Bengaluru. You heard the previous callers talking about how this is in a way shifting responsibility from your own, from yourself onto the insurance companies. Do you think that is in fact the case here?
I think it's a good idea, okay, by the LG of the Delhi to actually, penalize people who are, habitual offenders. Okay, see, actually in India, what really, makes things work is, it should pinch your pocket. That's a wonderful idea. But I think on the implementation side, okay, I have a little bit of a different take. I think in India, okay, a policeman can never be trusted to actually manage the traffic, okay? So we need to get onto the technology. You have nowadays, okay, artificial intelligence, okay, cameras, all available, okay, throughout. And you should be able to enforce the law through technology and remove the policeman out of this equation. Okay, the more technology you bring, the more enforcement you bring in. See, the moment somebody violates a lane or somebody is actually, driving without a helmet or without a seat belt or breaking the lane discipline, immediately the camera should be able to detect the plates and then directly link it to the insurance and penalize this, the vehicle. That's the only way it should work. And I think it's a great idea, but only thing is, okay, this requires significant amount of technological investments, and I think we should go ahead because you are not going to put all these vehicles off the road, okay? It's not, it's the number of automobiles in India is exploding in every city. That's a reality, and automobiles are like, ATMs for government, okay? They also earn a lot of money, okay, through GST on various services, whether it's a repair or a thing. But I think we need to get into this, technology for enforcement of this road. It's a wonderful idea by LG.
Okay. I've got another caller from New Delhi, Soumya, who joins us on the phone line. Soumya, we heard the previous caller talking about how this is a good idea, and bringing in more technology might bring a systemic change onto better road safety measures. But just bringing in more technology, do you think that's a good idea? But it's also a responsibility for the people on the road who are driving. People, their behavior needs to be that needs to change dramatically in order to make sure that our roads are safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Behavior plays a very important role, but I think that law enforcement needs to be really very strong in our country. Because I live in New Delhi, there's a lot of traffic all the time and people don't follow rules at all. But if there will be large penalties as those that are there in, the foreign countries, people will be scared of losing their money, and because of that, they'll follow the rules. So I think I have observed this very closely, that when there are, something related to money, then people definitely follow the rules with full intention. Otherwise, what happens is, even if a single person is right, but he sees 5 to 10 people doing the wrong thing, so he also then starts feeling that, nothing is happening to them, then why should I follow the rule? And he also then starts behaving like those other 10 people. But if there will be penalties, big penalties and good law enforcement, and money will start getting deducted, I think then only people will start following the rules very seriously. And, accident rate has increased so much in our country, and to control that, this is the only way, I think.
Okay. In fact, I've got another caller on the line, Mr. Pulak, who joins us from Kolkata. So do you think, by increasing the amount of these fines, do you think that's a deterrent? Because a lot of how do you think this policy will impact low-income drivers who might struggle with increased premiums here?
During the root cause of road fatalities, the most of our cars manufactured with all government permissions do not have basic safety features, excepting or some very high-priced models. Excepting on them, most of the ordinary cars which are purchased in bulk by the large purchasers do not have the basic safety features like airbags. Very few. Only recently some have started advertising that in their middle-sized model, some airbags coming up.
Okay, all right. We heard all your views. In fact, this has been the story for many years, despite a lot of implementation of better policies, better awareness for the users. There is always a big concern that these accidents, they keep happening, and there is no end to traffic violations. Something like this, a policy like this, is it actually going to affect the people of the country, and is it going to act as a deterrence? Is it a good idea? Or is it an impractical idea? We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining, Mr. Kulshresht.